Have you ever dreamed of owning an exotic pet? Some people have lived that fantasy, keeping wild animals as companions. We've already told you some uncomfortably odd stories involving some of the strangest pets on the planet. But the weird and wacky can give way to nightmares in the waking world. Unfortunately for you, if you have ever dreamed of riding around on the back of an unusual creature, this list reveals 5 times when those cherished companions have turned deadly. Top 5 exotic pets that killed their owners. 5. Camel. Hypothetically, what would you give your wife for her 60th birthday? Jewelry. Flowers. How about a baby camel? That was the birthday present that Pam Weaver's husband gave her in 2007. Living in Australia, Weaver was an animal lover who had previously raised goats, kangaroos, emus, and rabbits. Having a camel in Australia is not as strange as it may sound. Many wild camels have lived on the continent since they were brought there in the 1800s as pack animals. In fact, there are well over 1 million feral single-humped camels roaming the wilds of Australia as an unusual invasive species. They cause millions in damages to property each year and are a general nuisance. The pet camel is believed to have knocked Pam Weaver to the ground and then straddled her body, killing her. Pam had raised the camel almost from birth, and it was just 10 months old when the tragedy happened. Reportedly, the camel had displayed erratic behavior before, such as straddling Weaver's pet goat. One expert stated that the strange behaviors were undoubtedly sexual in nature and that the young camel was attempting to engage in some type of mating behavior. Of course, the headlines wasted no time with their insensitive puns, declaring that the woman had been humped to death. 4. Crocodile. In January 2019, an Indonesian woman fell into an outdoor enclosure containing an illegally kept crocodile named Mary. The woman's name was DC Tuwo, and she was the head of a pearl farm laboratory that produced beauty products. It was unknown what a crocodile was doing on the laboratory property because these creatures are not known for their beauty. But apparently, it was being fed like a pet. It is believed that Tuwo fell into the enclosure by accident, or the crocodile was able to leap far enough up the 2.4 meter, 8 feet, concrete wall of the enclosure to snatch her. Crocodiles make powerful leaps using their tails to propel them almost entirely out of the water in which they are swimming. In some places, taunting crocodiles by holding meat above the water and forcing them to jump to grab it is a popular tourist attraction called a jumping crocodile cruise. 7. By the time that Tuwo's body was found, Mary had eaten one of her hands and most of her abdomen. To remove the dangerous and illegal reptile from the property, the police, the army, and conservation officials all pitched in. It took dozens of people to organize and complete the 3-hour operation to evict Mary the crocodile. She was then strapped to a flatbed truck and driven away to a wildlife rescue center. 3. Elephant. A man named Ramlakhan Varma was a politician affiliated with a political party in India called the Bahujan Samaj Party. The official symbol of the party is the elephant. As a gimmick of sorts, Varma kept an elephant as a pet that he would use during political campaigns. In 2003, the elephant began behaving wildly. So Varma brought him to the outskirts of the village and tried to calm him down. At first, it seemed to be working, but then the elephant became enraged again. At that point, Varma lashed out and tried to strike the animal on the forehead with a sharp iron rod. Eyewitnesses reported that the weapon ended up lodged in the elephant's ear. Burma then lost his balance and fell to the ground. The panicked elephant crushed him to death and then ran back toward the village. Unfortunately for the skittish animal, the villagers were ready. They opened fire on the elephant with their guns and shot him over 200 times in total. 8 Did the massacre of their mascot hurt the chances of the political party? Not so much. In the next countrywide election held in India after the death of the elephant and its owner, the Bahujan Samaj Party won the state assembly election with a non-coalition majority, the likes of which had not been seen in well over a decade. 2 Wildebeest. Photo credit, Live Science. The gnu, a species of African antelope often called a wildebeest, weighs hundreds of pounds, and both the males and females grow large and intimidating horns. This did not deter one man in Indiana from keeping 3 wildebeests as pets, an adult male, an adult female, and a calf born to the adults. 9 In 2004, Klaus Dick Raydand was trampled to death by one of his wildebeests behind his home. The animal had been made safer to handle by cutting off most of its horns, but that turned out not to matter in the end. The coroner declared that the wildebeest had inflicted blunt force trauma to its owner's head and chest, probably first by ramming him and then by trampling him. What most likely set the wildebeest off on its murderous rampage? It was the beginning of the mating season. He may have been extra aggressive to prevent Raydand from being around his mate. Raydand and his wife also kept emus, reindeer, and other exotic animals on the farm where he was killed. His wife discovered Raydand's body after realizing that he had not come back from the barnyard for quite some time. Presumably, she did not react well when she discovered his body. Among their implausibility of news. Yes, a herd of news is called an implausibility. At least you got that fun fact out of this sad story. 1 Black mamba snake. In Putnam, New York, a couple was keeping around 75 snakes, including a black mamba, in their home. The black mamba is considered the second deadliest snake in the world based on its venom's neurotoxin power. The snakes were not just roaming free among the cabinets and furniture, of course. They were contained in various glass aquariums and acrylic snake pens. Unfortunately, the locks on the black mamba's enclosure were mysteriously open one day. In 2011, the 1.5 meter, 5 feet, venomous reptile bit owner Aletta Stacy on her forearm. The snake is known for its venom because nearly 100% of bite victims will die within 20 minutes if not treated. Stacy died from the bite, and it appeared that she had not tried to call for help of any kind. There was some discussion that the death may have been intentional, but proof of this was not found. Her boyfriend discovered her body and then found that the snake's cage was unlocked. The possession of some of the snakes was illegal, especially because over half of them had venom known to be harmful to people, such as the cobra they also owned. In the end, the pile of snakes, including the black mamba, were turned over to the Bronx Zoo.